Hey everybody, anyone is here, and I am on my SMP server, and I had a slight problem. I built my base within a jungle, which I love. It's awesome, but that doesn't give me much room to make stuff anywhere, farms or anything like that. As you can see, I have some extreme hills over there. I believe there's a swamp that way and a desert that way, but they're all pretty far away, and I didn't want to have to go so far whenever I needed to get wheat or meat or whatever the case may be. So I knew I had to build everything within my base. So the first thing I really needed to build was a cow farm. Cow being the best meat in the game, not only does it give you 4 hunger bars, but it also gives you saturation plus 4. So it's a very good meat to eat, and if you could farm it, it becomes great. What I decided to do was put everything into a wall. I knew I didn't have much room, so I'd have to build some type of mob tower like this. So at first the idea was a really good idea until I started having all these SMP issues. Cows glitching right through and falling out. Not being able to breed. Just tons and tons of issues. So I knew let's get these cows. Ooh. Missed some meat over there. So I needed to test this, and I needed to test this on a multiplayer server. Now, in single player, this thing works flawlessly. And just to give you an idea, this is how it's supposed to work. You press the button, and it flips the cows through. We press it again, since there was nobody there. And there you go. The cows go up and around, blah, 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 blah. And the idea is maybe I'd stop them here to breed them or whatever the case is. But this failed miserably. Cows kept falling out. When you breed them here, they just land on the track. It just wasn't working. So I decided to go onto a multiplayer creative server that's run by a friend of mine, Parker, which is the Musclecraft Redstone Labs server. Within there, it's a creative server running a bunch of plugins that I'm able to do a lot of testing on. So let's run into there, and I'll show you the different phases of the project and what problems I had and how I solved them, and eventually a working mob tower farm with I shouldn't say fully automatic, semi-automatic, which allows you to cycle them through here, breed them, sort them, and refill this all with one button and one switch. So let's jump onto the Musclecraft server, and I'll start going over it. Okay, here we are in the Musclecraft Redstone map dev server, and as you can see here, I have built pretty much the same thing as before, but I've overcome a couple of the obstacles. First of all, using this scenario, the cows do not fall out of the carts. And the reason for that is they are now surrounded fully by blocks. Oh, I must have broke one right there. They're surrounded fully by blocks, so when you leave a chunk or log out and log back in, they don't just fall out, they stay in the area and stay in their carts. And let's see if I can just give you a quick demonstration of that. So I'm going to log out, and now I'm logging back in, and as you can see, it looks like they fall out, but they all pop right back into their carts. So that was the first issue that I was able to resolve. And just to give you a quick overview of this wiring, it's pretty simple. First, you can see it working. It works just like the other one did. I have them stop here so I could breed them. Press on the pressure plate, they bounce off, and they reload. Great. So let me just give you a quick look of the wiring. The first thing you're going to see here is a pulse limiter, and I'll explain what this is used for in a little bit, but for now, it just shortens the pulse. And as you can see, first thing it does is it comes over here, flips these fence gates, rides up this glowstone tower, and as you can see, every step it takes, it adds one more repeater onto it. This actually repeater is not set right, but that's fine. And it just adds just a little bit more delay every step up it takes. And that's it. It's pretty plain and simple. Just to show you that again, let's just turn these on for now. So you don't have to step on the pressure plate. Press the button. They all open up in sequence. These guys come around, and done. So we overcome the first obstacle of the cows falling through, but this leads us to another issue. So even though right now we can do this, could stop them there, let's get some wheat and breed them, and it works fine. Bang, bang, guys are breeding, and they have a baby, and great. Now here's the problem. I have no handling for this baby, so now this baby's just running all around. So I had to resolve that in the second iteration of this. So let's run over to the second iteration. Now this is a smaller version. It doesn't have the full tower, but it gives you an idea of how I wanted to handle the breeding. The first thing we were hoping for when doing the breeding was, we hope that when you feed these two cows and you get another cow, baby cow launched, we were hoping it would fall right through there and hit the water stream and be gone. The problem is when you breed a cow, they stay right in that area. So if I were to press this button, just like over here, the cow would just pop out and normally just get in front of the cart and blah, 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 it wouldn't work. So after playing around with it a little bit, we figured out something. When a cart with a animal in it, or just a cart alone, hits water, it doesn't get affected by the water. It just drops like a rock. But with the baby cow in there, the baby cow will hit the stream, flow away, but the cart will stay here. So that gave us the idea of we could drop them into this water stream with another fence gate right there. The baby would go away, and then we could open this again, the cart would fall again, and retract and recycle. So let's just take a quick look at that. See if I can time this right. So let's feed these cows. Come on, cows. Boom. And boom. Now they have the baby. There's the little baby. So let's try to press the button and get down there as quick as possible. Button pressed. So now as you can see, the baby falls in, goes down the stream, and this guy just flows right through. So that worked well. And there you can see the baby's fallen out into this little holding pen. And the cows have recycled. Now there's still a flaw in this. Even though this works pretty well, the problem is if one of the cows die for whatever reason, it's really hard to reload. So that's how I fixed in the second iteration. But before I show you that, I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of this wiring. The wiring works pretty much the same. So you hit the button, it comes down here. You have a wiring that hits this, opens this fence gate, and then you have a delay. The delay goes for about, I think it's about 5 or 6 ticks, and then opens up this. And the reason for that being, we wanted to give enough time for the baby to flow out. So just to give that another quick look, you know what, let's put a button right here just to make it a little easier to see. Okay, and to get that, oh, I can't put the button there, we can put it there, press it, and as you can see, it falls and then opens up and goes. I'm in the cow's way, so it ain't going nowhere. So that is the second iteration. It works well, but we wanted a way to easily reload this, and that comes into the third and final iteration. Now, the wiring on this is very, very similar. So back here, you see the glass tower, the glowstone tower that brings the redstone up. You see the same delays that I used the first time. And then the wiring, this is where it changes a little bit. So, first of all, when you press a button, let's get back over here, it has the same effect. So it flows through. The guys hit the water down there. If there is a cow, it will go into the stream, a baby cow, and the other cows will just come back around and load back up there. So one of the things I had to do is the pulse limiter, and there's a good reason for that. As you know, when you press a button, and if you don't know, a button goes for about 18 ticks. So here we have 9 repeaters, all set at the default, which each repeater, when it's set at the default setting, is 2 ticks. And as you can see, when I press this, it lights them all up before it turns off. So that means this goes on for 18 ticks. If we had to try to work this with 18 ticks, that would mean we would have to double this amount every single time. So you could just imagine how many repeaters that would wind up being, and it would just be way too much. So what this does is it shortens the length of the pulse. So now, as you can see with this one, it goes on for 18 ticks. This will only go on for about 1 tick. As you can see, as soon as I press the button, ticks once and gone. So that gives us a nice quick pulse that allows us to quickly cycle through all of these. And that's what you see right here. And this is the wiring that comes from the button. So the wiring comes down, comes here, splits. First, the wire hits this pulse limiter and makes it into a quick pulse. Comes up here into this inverter. And then, just like the other one before, splits, hits the first fence gate, opens that, closes that, and then works its way up. And slowly again, having a slow delay, adding to the delay, and opens them all in sequence. Great. But now I also still have the fence gate at the bottom by the stream. And let's get over to that over here. So I have these fence gates, and this needs to trigger after that one up there does. So this needs to fall, give it a split second for the baby to fall out, and then open again. So that's what this second line is for. So you press the button over here, the redstone lights up, comes over here, splits. One way goes into this pulse limiter, as we explained before, and goes up there. The second way wraps back around here, and then hits all of this delay. This is quite a bit of delay, and it gives us enough time for... get back over here. Gives us enough time for that fence gate up there to open, and then this one to open. So let's just see that in action for a minute. I believe I should be able to feed these cows right now. Let's see. Bang, bang. Come on, there you go. They have the baby. There's the baby. Let's see if we could run and catch it before it's too late. I don't know if we're going to be able to. Maybe we could see it from here. Yeah, we should be able to see it from here. So we press the button, they fall, the baby gets separated, then that opens, and they wrap back around. Simple. Now, as you can see, the baby is going to start coming through here and goes into this holding area right here. Now, this is the whole point of this extra area. So now let's say one of your cows died. So let's just kill one of these cows. Bang, bang. So now you have an open space here. And you want to refill it. So all you need to do is, let's get this recycled so the open space is up at the top. Now you see the cow coming back around, but we only have one. So let's just make sure I have the setting correct. Now, I should have wired this. This is the track selector. So when I refill automatically, it knows which way to send it. I could very easily wire that up to here. And I don't have a reason why I didn't. I just didn't in time for this video. So now we have an empty spot up there and we need to fill this up. Normally, you would have to play around with getting wheat, dragging a cow over here, making sure getting into the cart, blah, 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 which is a real pain in the ass. So what I built here was a little autofill. And the way this works is pretty simple, actually. With cows, when they're in the corner here, and this cow is trying to come after me, you could pick up a cow through a corner with a cart. So what does that mean? When I flip this switch, one cart falls, and it lands onto this detector. This is a mob detector. So basically what happens is, when there's nothing in this cart, it will just start going back and forth, back and forth. Once something enters this cart, it will make it up this hill, hit that power track, and make its way back up there. So let's just watch that happen. Let's just drop a cow right here. Let it get into position. And watch. It's going over there. And now it's going to pick it up. Makes it over the hump. Goes around. And automatically refills. And there it is. And now we have an auto-filled tower. Now you don't have to actually worry about having to get them back in there if they die. And the way this works is pretty simple. I basically have this switch connected to this redstone redstone on the ground. I think it's about right here. Yep. Hits this inverter to power it. And then, after it hits this inverter, and then there's the power track is right above here. I don't think if you could see it. Yeah. Oh, I just screwed that up. Okay, I just screwed this up. Give me 1 second. Let me rebuild this. Okay, I'm back and I rebuilt this. So the switch comes out, lights up this torch. This torch right here will light up the track right above, which you can't really see, and I don't want to break another block and make the waterfall. Oh, there you go. So you can see this track lights this up, and then it hits another pulse limiter. Now this pulse limiter is a little different in the fact that it takes a powered on state, and only when it first powers on, and turns it into a quick pulse that will pulse this for a quick second. about 2 ticks or so. Light this up, bring it up here, bring it up here. Oh, let's get out of here. Bring it up here, and then up here, and then pulse here, and that will pulse this fence gate open for a split second. Now it only pulses when it turns on. So as you can see, it's on right now. You see that track open, and now when I turn it off, you'll see the track turn off, but nothing happens. And then when I turn it on, flips again, and adds the track back into the detector. And as you can see, it picked up. Let's stop this before I... Oh, and now I just double filled the cart. But as you can see, it'll pick up the cow through this corner, and it will reload the system. Now, as you can see, I have a rogue cow stuck on the track. So let me get rid of this guy. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sorry, baby. And that's pretty much the gist of it. This can be probably shrunk a lot, and it should be rewired. This wiring is a little mess right now, but I wanted to keep it open and easy to see how everything works. So again, you have the button up here. The button triggers this redstone. First, it triggers this pulse limiter. The pulse limiter comes up and starts the sequence of opening these gates. And then the second run over here comes back around, starts this timer, which adds about, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 times 4. And then another 1, 2, 3, which is all set to 4 again. So it's 4 times 3 ticks. And then it opens up those bottom hatches there. So let me just show it to you in action. I should be able to breed most of these cows. Not all of them, but most of them. And let's give this here. Breed. Can I not breed him? These guys don't want to be bred. Oh, there's one. And as you can see, you can actually breed through a block. And the 2 cows will actually have a baby through a block. So that makes it very, very easy to do this. So we have the baby there. We press the button. Recycle through. Baby gets sent over here, which we should see it in a second. There it is. And the other ones got recycled back up there. So let's do this a couple more times until we can't get these babies anymore. Baby is on the left side. Now, I have not been able to figure out what decides what side the baby goes on. I thought maybe it depended on who you fed first or the orientation or something like that, but it doesn't seem that way. It seems like it's completely random on which side becomes the quote-unquote mother. So we got 1, 2, they have the baby. And I believe this is the last one we're going to be able to do. See, now the baby's on this side. Press the button, recycled, and let's see if we can get these guys. I don't think, oh, we can. So this must be the last one. And recycle. And there you go. You have the babies flowing through there. You have the cows coming back up there. And now, as you could see for this area right here, for the return track, I actually made a Pez dispenser, as some people call it, and it's very, very simple to load. Now, as you can see, this isn't the prettiest thing, and the reason for that being is with 1.3, we won't need to do this anymore. This can be completely substituted with just a dispenser. Because in 1.3, dispensers can dispense minecarts. So this won't need it to be done anymore. So I just threw this together real quick. But again, this is my semi-automatic cow farm. I'm just going to walk you through the wiring again. I explained this a couple times, but just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Wiring comes down, hits the pulse limiter. Limiter comes around here, inverts the signal, comes up here, triggers there. Then triggers there, then triggers there, then triggers there. And then around here, comes around. The delay hits here, comes all the way around, and then comes through here, around, and lights up this block, which will open up both of these traps. And the wiring and the track is very simple, just comes up around. Again, it could be easier. You can make this a lot cleaner, but I wanted to throw this together. One thing it's worth noting that this doesn't use any pistons whatsoever. Pistons can be kind of glitchy and hard to work with sometimes, and they're pretty expensive. So using the fence gates was a really great idea. So that's pretty much it for the cow farm. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Oh, and I made a little area right here where you can just go and kill these guys if you wanted to. Just get the meat. Obviously, these are babies, so they don't drop anything. But if they were full-blown cows, I could stand right here, kill them, and I would get the meat and all the experience. You can very easily build this with maybe a lava blade, so you can get cooked meat, or funnel these somewhere else. This isn't the best place for a killing chamber, but I wanted to make it available just to show you that you can do it, but I was more concerned about making the return line. So, again, if you have any questions about this, or any of the redstone you see here, just leave a comment, and thanks for joining me.